Alright, Ice Cream Man is the worst horror movie of 2026. So, I just randomly found this video that was uploaded 12 days ago. Uploaded by... I do not know how to say his last name, but I'll put it in the description anyway. Go subscribe to him. If you want to just watch the video without my commentary, you can leave and go watch it. But yeah, I just thought this was interesting because I've heard about this film a little bit. And I was kind of excited for it, and then I kind of just heard it was like super duper horrible and like used AI a bunch. And the reason I was kind of excited for it was that there's like I think it came out in the 90s, but there's this 90s version of Ice Cream Man, and I watched was it Dead Meat video on it when I was kind of like younger, and I don't know, that movie was kind of like a campy, fun 90s horror movie, and I thought it was going to be kind of the same thing. I don't know if it was the same universe, but apparently this movie is just really, really, really bad. And especially with all the other like horror movies, have kind of been out here. We got like Obsession, The Backrooms, like just so many really good horror movies this year. Just like in general. Oh yeah, and Send Help. Send Help was another really good one. Yeah, this one kind of looks interesting, but yeah, let's just whatever. Let's just lock in on the video, but here we go.
So, imagine taking the last 10 minutes of Weapons, stretching it over
Another really
an
good horror
entire
movie.
except everything is worse. That's basically Ice Cream Man, the new movie from Eli Roth, which somehow got a summer theatrical release. There are bad horror movies, then there are entertainingly bad horror movies, and then there are movies like Ice Cream Man, where you spend most of the runtime wondering how something this loud, ugly, and repetitive
Oh my.
managed to make it this far. I guess when the budget...
So Eli Roth, I did hear he was in Inglourious Bastards, and I saw like clips of him talking about this movie. But yeah, he was an actor in Inglourious Bastards. That's all I really know him from. What other movies has he done? I'm gonna have to look real quick. I'm sorry. Hold up. let me take a look, because I feel like I haven't heard of this guy like at all. I know I'm doing a search. The video just started. I know. What else did you direct? Is like, oh, Thanksgiving. That's the one I know him from. He directed Thanksgiving, I'm pretty sure. But wasn't that one? I heard that one was pretty solid. Yeah. Yeah, I did hear about that one. That was the one I was thinking about. Yeah. All right, let's get back to the video.
This is the worst horror movie I've seen so far this year. And that's saying something because 2026 has been a pretty good year for
Exactly,
horror.
that's what I was
In a
saying.
year with
Obsession,
Backrooms,
Backrooms.
Santana,
Exactly.
Leviticus.
Oh yeah, Leviticus. Yeah.
Eli Roth shows up with this.
Leviticus was pretty. I've heard it was pretty good. I didn't watch it, but I heard that one was pretty solid.
Garbage, which feels like it was
Also kinda
brought
similar to
out of the
Obsession-ish.
DVD bargain bin from 2002. Roth is 54 years old, and after 24 years of feature filmmaking, not only he hasn't evolved, he's gotten worse. He emerged in the early 2000s with Cabin Fever and Hostel.
I
And what
probably
do you
could have
think?
just. If I waited like 10 seconds, he would explain who he was. Okay.
Those movies, they had an identity. They felt like movies made by somebody who actually had something to say and prove. He has made non-horror films as well, but the less we talk about them, the better.
He made
Over
Borderlands? Oh, that movie was ass. Oh my god. Yeah, I didn't know he made that. It's like, yeah, I heard that one was not good at all. It was yeah, it was like completely not even close to the games. And that, I mean, most video game adaptations aren't, but that was another year with like a lot of. I was actually kind of excited for that movie too.
Roth's filmmaking has become increasingly dependent on the same handful of tricks. Obnoxious characters, juvenile humor, extreme gore, pop culture references, and the constant sense that the movie's desperately trying to convince you that it's edgy. And that sensibility hasn't aged well at all.
I feel like there's a lot of horror movies that do that, where they're just trying to be like edgy for edgy's sake, and it doesn't really have a form of the story. Like, what's a good example of that kind of just like kind of annoys me? I'm trying to think of a good example. Maybe like, I don't feel like it might be a controversial take, but I feel like a lot of the time, like the Saw movies are kind of like that, where it's just overly gory to be gory, and like the means don't justify. Because like in the first movie, it's like they get what's coming to them. They're bad people and they're put in this stressful situation. But sometimes it's like the most minuscule mistake a person will make, and then they have to like do the most atrocious thing. And I get that's kind of the point, but like, it's just, I'm not a huge fan of the Saw movies. I mean, they're okay, but like, I feel like it's gonna be a controversial take because I know a lot of people like those movies, but I feel like they're just gory to be gory. And yeah, I feel like it was a little bit. Means don't justify the means. But yeah, there's a lot of films like that. Another movie I kind of think about was that I kind of didn't like was the 2009 Friday the 13th movie. It's not a bad one. I think it's one of the better Friday the 13th movies. But bro, the amount of just like, I don't know, I'm gonna sound like a bitch when I'm saying this, but like the amount of like just there's so much nudity in that film. It's just like so perverted. It's just like ugh, like really we gotta flush. Like I don't know. There's just so many films like that, and horror in general I feel like kind of gets like that in some aspects. But yeah, that's another one I kind of thought about. It's just like, bro, like the amount of runtime is just to show like a girl's chest, bro. Like really, I just want to see Jason hack up some people. I don't really care. Like it's just, yeah.
Filmmakers from Roth
It doesn't serve a
generation have
purpose.
matured, experimented, and developed more sophisticated approaches to horror. A new generation has also been doing incredible work recently. Just look at movies like Oddity, Bring Her Back, The Ugly Stepsister, Obsession, and so many others.
Another good one. Also, Talk to Me. Also, was a really good one made by some young filmmakers. They also directed Bring Her Back, so he did mention that. But I watched that one for the first time. My girlfriend showed me that. It was so good. That was a really good one. I did like that one. I didn't watch it when it came out. I kind of regret not doing it. But Obsession. Now I love Obsession.
Made by young,
It's such a good
and
movie.
creative voices.
I know everyone
These
in the
films
world will say that.
understand atmosphere, restraint.
That's the one thing I do like about Obsession. It's like, it amplifies. It justifies its means. Like it's like sure it's a lot gorier, but like it doesn't feel super forced. I feel like it's a good progression of the story, and a lot of like the scariness factor kind of just comes off not from just the gore or horror aspect, more just like the uncomfortable aspect of it. And I think that's kind of interesting. That's kind of like it's like you're just uncomfortable a lot of it. And there's of course there's the scares and the head smashing scene and whatever, but.
Basic cinematic language. Ice Cream Man doesn't seem to understand any of that. It feels like Roth is still trying to impress the same edgelord teenage boys who were watching Hostel on DVD and getting off on it 20 years ago. There's nothing inherently wrong with making trashy gore-fest horror, but even trash needs personality.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the Terrifier movies, but
Perfect example, Terrifier. I do not like the Terrifier movies. Those are so I'm sorry. I do not like Terrifier. I think it's a good idea, good concept. That's the one I was thinking about. Dude, oh my god, fucking Terrifier, dude. It's gore first, story second. The story is so ass. There is little to no plot for the characters. It's just a gore to be gory. And especially the third one, it just, why, bro? Like, we get it. You're being edgy. You're gonna do edgy shit. Like, dude, those movies are just slop. It's just gore slop. That's what those movies are. Like, compared to, like if you compare Terrifier to, like, another Killer Clown movie, like It or something, where the characters are really interesting and all the kids are kind of, I don't know, it's a different comparison, but, like, or, like, even, like, Welcome to Derry, which is still pretty a gory show, but, like, the story's really good, the characters are really good. Like, bro, just Terrifier. Honestly, I think the first one, I do think the second one's pretty solid, but, like, and it's just, like, my suspension of disbelief doesn't get to it. Like, where it's so overkill, it's not believable. Like, I'm like, she would be, especially the bedroom scene in the second one, like, she would be dead in the first 60 seconds of her hacking her up. And her being kept alive just to, like, bro, it's just, like, it's so overly gory, and it's just, like, ugh. Yeah, I never really got these films, like, oh, it's super gory. Like, it's not even that scary. It's just more, like, it's so absurd that it gets to a point where I don't even find it scary because it's just so unrealistic at all. And that sounds like some corny shit to say, but, like, it's like, the body doesn't work like that. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so overkill. And it's just like, oh, it's really scary. Like, bro, it's just disgusting. It's not scary. You're just being perverted and weird. Like, bro.
much better made.
I do think the main actor for Terrifier is really good. I do like him. He is pretty good. He's a good actor. But, like, a lot of the characters I just don't even care about. They don't really put any thought into the characters in the story or whatsoever. I really think one thing about the first Terrifier, they should have kept the first girl, made her survive, make her feed the final girl. The fact that her sister, who was barely in the movie, is the final girl, I thought was really stupid. And like, bro, another really bad one. This was it. All Hallows Eve. Oh, that movie was terrible. And it's part of the Terrifier franchise, but that movie was buns.
Basic premise is a mixture of familiar stories you've probably seen before. A mysterious ice cream man arrives in a suburban town.
It's a good concept. It looked interesting.
Children into homicidal monsters, and a handful of unaffected kids have to survive while the rest of their classmates go completely insane. The three main kids become the center of the story, while the ice cream man himself, played by Ari Miller, is a mute and doesn't say anything. Similar to Art the Clown, actually.
Yeah.
You can basically describe the movie as 2014's Cooties mixed with Ice Cream Man from 1995. And that comparison becomes increasingly...
See, that's the one I was talking about, the 90s one.
The movie goes on. The 95 Ice Cream Man starring Clint Howard was a bizarre little straight-to-video horror movie about a deranged ice cream man who mixes human body parts into his products.
Campy.
Roth seems to borrow some of its visual language, particularly the occasional black and white sequences and imagery. But the biggest influence is clearly Cooties. This is a movie about elementary school children becoming violent monsters after eating contaminated chicken nuggets. And it's actually a fun watch. It's disgusting and deliberately ridiculous, but the filmmakers understand the tone. Ice Cream Man takes that...
I think I did watch that Dead Me video about that one too.
Somehow makes it boring. The kids become killers, adults get murdered, there are grotesque kills, so many people vomit, they all scream, and all this gets repeated over and over again. Eventually the gore stops being effective because there's nothing surrounding it. It's just
exactly. It's just gore to be like, it's not a progression of the story. Like an obsession with like the head smashing scene is a really gory scene, and that's like super, like I said, it's kind of overkill. But like there's the tension there. You establish the threat, you keep her in the back of your mind, and then you have the scene, and then it kind of comes out of nowhere, and it makes sense for the story. Like, it has a purpose. And purpose is, like, him not, killing Nick or whatever is the cause of her death and her dying. It serves a purpose. And there's so many other good films that, like, each kill serves a purpose. When it's just senseless killing... And that could still be done, like, like in zombie movies and stuff like that. I mean, like, you don't need to know every single character that dies. But it should be, like, one direct cause, I guess. That makes sense? I don't know if I'm making sense, but...
Escalation. And then there's the filmmaking itself. The movie looks absolutely awful and cheap looking. Everything is brightly lit and artificially polished, giving the movie the appearance of a flashy YouTube video rather than a theatrical horror movie. There is almost no atmosphere, no tension, no creative visual storytelling, nothing.
Damn.
You could have the most ridiculous horror premise imaginable, but if the filmmaking is strong enough, you can make audiences buy into it. The gore which the film relies on as a selling point is also strangely ineffective. There is a lot of it. Children chop people up, people get their heads smashed, bodies are mutilated, there are intestines, severed limbs, and all the other things you'd expect from an Eli Roth movie. But after a while, it becomes visual noise. The movie keeps screaming, look how crazy this is.
What? Exactly. That's like my problem with that, bro.
Thinking,
gotta be in Terrifier, like that's what my kind
of... The visual effects are where things become particularly embarrassing. There are sequences in this movie that look unmistakably artificial, especially some of the animated material and certain gore shots.
It's AI.
And this becomes even more noticeable after Roth said that AI had in fact been used in a small portion of several scenes, which is absolutely unforgivable for so many people right now. You can pinpoint the AI shots easily in the flashback sequences and so many of the gore scenes. The fact that a movie like this is so...
Like, Sucker, you had so much budget, bro. Like, you couldn't just get some practical effects. Like, they're cheaper than digital ones. Like, brother. You got, like, how much was this movie's budget? Like, and sure, you could, like, make the argument is like, well, why would I spend the money to go do that when I could just do it with AI? But, like, dude... It's like, that already puts your film down by, like, so much. People do not like AI, bro. Don't be using that in film. It's like, the reason we like films is because people make it, bro. Like, what are we doing? And sure, like, I know, like, AI is going to be implemented somehow, in some way. I mean, that's just facts. But, like, it's just so, like, horror in general, man. It's just, like, I don't know. Just... He's like, dude, you had so much budget. Yeah, how much? Yeah, I'm gonna look again. Yeah, let me look at this. What was this movie's budget? Because if it's over like 100 million, sucker. Not 100 million. How much? I mean, maybe. Ice Cream Man budget. 5 million. Okay, yeah, 100 million I think is way too high. I'm thinking like a Spider-Man film or something. But like, think about it. Like, Obsession was made for $150,000, and its kills, all practical, look great. Backrooms. What was the Backrooms budget? 10 million. Okay. Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You had $5 million. So it couldn't have been that hard. Like, there's a lot of good films that have low budgets and they still look good. Like, well, Weapons. I guess Weapons also kind of used AI too, but it was for the title sequence. Okay, so maybe the budget was a little bit lower, but because Weapons had a budget of like 38 million. Well, I guess they had like Josh Brolin and stuff like that, so whatever. Still, you had $5 million. You could have used at least a couple thousand of those to make actual practical effects. Like, if you don't want to go the digital route, you can do that. It's cheaper. And I honestly think practical effects look a lot better, in my opinion. For, like, horror-wise, like, gore-wise, like, if you're doing kills, practical is the way to go. It looks so much better and so much more realer. And they did that in Obsession with the car scene. Just saying.
Is really baffling. If you're making a low-budget horror movie, find creative solutions that work within the limitations of your budget instead of making unwatchable garbage with AI. And no, I won't hear any excuses about the low budget because Obsession was made with under $1 million and it looks
Exactly
100 times better than this. There are independent horror movies being made today for a fraction of the money that have more atmosphere, more creativity, and more visual imagination than Ice Cream Man. I've seen straight-to-Shudder horror films that look more cinematic than this. As for the cast, the child actors aren't really the problem. Some of them are actually pretty good. The problem is that they have almost nothing interesting to work with. The characters are bland and the dialogue is absolutely awful. The screenplay constantly relies on cliches and stereotypes instead of developing actual personalities. Then Eli Roth himself shows up as Marty, the main character's dad, and the movie suddenly becomes even more irritating. His character makes these creepy jokes and bizarre comments, including a completely random reference to Mitt Romney of all people. And you just sit there thinking, what the hell am I watching? Is this supposed to be funny? Is it supposed to be satire?
A dark comedy,
supposed
maybe.
to tell me something about the character? Who knows? This screenplay seems to operate under the assumption that if a character says something weird or offensive, that automatically makes the scene interesting. It doesn't. It just makes the movie feel like it was written by somebody who desperately wants you to know that they're not politically correct. And the movie keeps hinting that there's some larger commentary underneath all of this. Is it about junk food? Is it about social media? Is it about parents failing to protect their children? Or is it about accusations and the way people respond to them? The film seems to gesture toward all of these ideas without properly developing any of them. And then the ending comes along and seems to suggest that there's a much more specific commentary about real-world accusations and sexual misconduct. But it's so poorly constructed and nonsensical that instead of being provocative, it just becomes confusing. The movie ends and you're just left wondering what the hell it was actually trying to say. This is ultimately the fundamental problem with Ice Cream Man. It thinks having an outrageous premise is the same thing as making a watchable movie. It's not. You can make the most disgusting, ridiculous horror schlock imaginable. But you still need characters, pacing, atmosphere, and jokes that are actually funny. And more importantly, you need filmmaking. Even the critics who were somewhat kinder to the movie generally acknowledge that it's primarily a silly splatterfest for people who are already fans of Roth's particular brand of gore. Well, I'm not a fan of his work, and this movie is one of his worst films for me. When you look at what horror filmmakers are doing right now, Ice Cream Man feels embarrassingly outdated. It feels like a movie from another era, not in a nostalgic way, in a why does this still exist sort of way. It runs for only 86 minutes. and somehow it felt like 2 hours to me. The movie takes an idea that could have produced a chaotic,
Yeah,
hilarious,
the concept was really good. Like I said, like the '90s one, I thought was like it's a campy movie, but like it's a good idea. Like, and there's a bunch of like shows that kind of done the what was it the Haunting Hour? It's like a Goosebumps kind of sequel thing. They did like an ice cream man type episode, and it's a good concept. Or like the video game. Man, I haven't thought about that game in a minute. That one's kind of an interesting take on it. Like you could do so much with that. It's kind because like it looked interesting to me. Like, and I like the '90s one, so I was kind of like a little hyped for that. And I looked at the trailer when it came out. I'm like, that looks pretty good. So it's kind of disappointing to find out it was so terrible. Yeah, this guy's man.
disturbing little horror comedy and turns it into a repetitive slog. And maybe that's the biggest disappointment. Eli Roth has been making movies for more than 24 years.
Really?
He's a divisive figure today, mostly because of his horrendous politics and the allegations surrounding him. But his
What allegations? Hold up. Okay. I'm just curious. I'm just gonna look it up. What is he? So there's nothing confirmed, but multiple women have accused him of some not good things, sexual harassment. So, oof. Isn't that like the what the message of the movie was or something like about that? I don't know if I didn't watch it, so I don't really know. But like what he was talking about, so that's kind of ironic.
acting is not good enough to shift focuses, unlike his similarly unlikable friend Quentin Tarantino. At
Yeah,
this
I do not like
point,
Quentin
I don't
Tarantino.
expect him to
Quentin Tarantino. Okay. My take on Quentin Tarantino. Makes some good films. God, is he an annoying piece of shit, man. I don't like Quentin Tarantino as a person. He's just so egotistical about things, man. It's just like, bro, we get it, man. You're a good movie director, but like, good God. And like the stuff he said about like Matthew Lillard and like Paul Dano, I'm like, bro, we really hating on those guys. Those are some terrific actors, bro. Like Matthew Lillard, Scream, and like Paul Dano, like The Riddler and shit. Like, bro, they've been like some good ass films too. Like both of them have. Like, dude, it's like Matthew Lillard is one of my favorite actors of all time. Like, what has he been? He's all that. I still need to watch. What was it? It's like that one punk movie. I need to watch that one. Yeah, of course, Five Nights at Freddy's and stuff like that. But oh yeah, and Shaggy from Scooby Doo. He did such a good job they hired him for the next like 50 years of it because he did such a perfect job recreating the character. So, you know, and Quentin Tarantino. Also one thing really annoys. That's like, bro. In Pulp Fiction, when I watched Pulp Fiction, you know, we couldn't find a single other actor to say the N-word. You had to make that role for you. That's funny. Dude, like, I'm like, bro, he's like, no. Like, sucker, you wrote the script. And I'm not gonna act like he's the first white person to say the N-word. But, like, he wrote the film. Like, dude. It's just like the fact that he wrote the film is a little bit worse for me. Like, no, it's a lot worse. It's not a little bit worse. It's a lot worse. Yeah, Quentin Tarantino, yeah, like, I think I've watched a lot of his films. I've watched Reservoir Dogs and Inglourious Basterds, like I previously mentioned. Pulp Fiction. I feel like I've watched more than that. Like, I like his movies. His movies are good. Like, that's just a fact. Like, his movies are all really good. But him as a person, I don't really like. Compared to like all the other like iconic movie directors, which, you know, each of them kind of got their own problems, but like, you know, like whatever. I can talk about Quentin Tarantino for a while.
Some kind of evolution in his craft. Instead, Ice Cream Man feels like he's been getting worse and worse while everyone else moved forward. This isn't just one of the year's worst horror movies. It's a reminder that gore isn't a substitute for imagination. Shock isn't a substitute for suspense. And being edgy isn't the same thing as being interesting. Sometimes the scariest thing in a horror movie isn't
is subtleness.
It's realizing that the director hasn't learned anything in 24 years.
Damn. Sure, I like that video. Yeah, go subscribe to this guy. Let's just take a look at his channel real quick. Seems like he's made quite a bit of stuff. Yeah, that was a good video. I am planning on, I'm gonna upload this to YouTube. And yes, the black box is supposed to be the live chat that I had during this stream, which, as you can see, was zero, nada. Which I'm not complaining. I mean, obviously, this is, I got like 22 followers on Twitch. But like, I plan on just uploading some of this content. And then if you guys want, my YouTube audience can come to my Twitch or whatever. I have streamed for a minute, so I'm just gonna get back in it. I might do some games and stuff, whatever. So I'm gonna cut this down, edit it, and I want to make sure I'm providing, decent commentary. I'm not just stealing this guy's video and just, whatever. Anyways, see y'all in the next one.